Welcome back to my Darling Bride podcast, powered by Refuge and Fortress Network. I want to wish you all a happy new month.
Yes,
happy April.
Happy new month.
No, in March, man.
You've been saying April
listen,
all day
I'm
today.
already in
You
the new
ready
month.
to be in April? We just started March. How are you already in the new month?
But yeah, we want to welcome all of you back onto a new month, the month of March. It's a beautiful month. We covered a lot last month, and we're going to be covering a lot more this month.
2025 is going by fast.
2025 is going by fast, and
March
I'm
already.
for it.
I'm
actually for it.
I see you.
Amen.
I'm for it.
So if y'all don't know, this is Emmanuel Ludansi, or PY as I'm usually called. And I'm joined today by PL
Oludansi, and I'm usually called by PL.
Yes. And today we're going to be talking about something that is actually quite interesting, right? And I don't know if this is a reflection on American wedding in general, American marriages in general.
Right.
But there's this continuous mentality of individuality. I'm me, you're you, I'm my own person, you your own person, and things like that. And honestly, I'm at the point where I'm not really trying to tell nobody how to run their home or run their marriages, but is there a biblical guideline for this, right? Because we're gonna play something right now and we're gonna listen to it, and it's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
it's two different videos essentially talking about the same thing,
right?
But when you see them from two different angles, it makes you sit down and say, okay, this is interesting.
Right.
So let's play the first one. The one that I believe was childish. Just point blank childish.
Let's start with that one.
And so we're going to talk about that. So we're talking about today separation in marriage.
Yeah, individuality.
Right? Individualism in marriage.
Yeah.
And this concept of, you know how this is tax season, right? A lot of people are filing their taxes this year. And you have that whole concept of married filing jointly. Married filing jointly. You know what I'm saying? And it's interesting because what we're seeing while you're married filing jointly, what we're actually seeing is you're married living separately. You're married filing jointly, but you're married living separately.
So my married filing separately. That's a status.
You feel me? So you know what I'm saying? So it's becoming a thing.
Yeah.
And it's becoming so much a thing that I'm starting to think, do people feel like they have to do it to find peace?
Right.
Or as marriage just becomes so overwhelming for some people that they want to be in that sweet spot where, yes, I'm married. Yes, I have a ring on my finger, but I'm not really married.
Yeah.
I still want my space, want my life, want my own thing, do my own thing. And I don't want you really to disturb my life. But sure, I'm Mrs. So and so. I'm Mr. So and so.
Right.
So the video we're going to play right now is going to be talking about a lady who just blurted out saying that she just point blank period does not want to live in the same space as her husband. And
he has his own wing, she has her own wing.
We're going to find out more.
Him to live like down the hall.
Yeah, same.
And like sleeping separate.
I don't want to live with my husband. I want him to live like down the hall.
Yeah, same.
And like sleep in separate rooms.
Go away.
I would turn.
Now that's 1950.
That side of the house into a dual master. So knock down that wall between those. That's your side. This my side. You can come stay with me whenever. I can come stay with you, whatever. But we have separate spaces, separate bathrooms, separate.
I wouldn't do it that way, but I would definitely do like a woman cave and a man cave.
I mean,
like,
sure, but where are you sleeping every night? Are you sleeping in the bed with your man?
100% every night. But throughout the day, I'm trying to read a book.
Necessary.
I'm trying to drink. I'm trying to do the things that I do. I want to play and make up. I don't have time for you coming around here talking.
Just being around.
Shut the fuck up. And I said that I don't want to see him on the weekends. So I usually, we have different schedules. On the weekends, I can be there the dog. You go do what you do.
Yeah.
Say what now?
Their reasoning is a little confusing.
Now, here's the thing. This is where I come in. This is where I'm like, okay, is this an American thing? Because I ain't American. When it comes, I'm very Nigerian. When it comes to certain things, I'm very traditional. When it comes to certain things, and that is foreign to me.
Yeah.
The concept of she said, on the weekends, do your thing, let me do my thing.
Right.
Don't talk to me.
Don't
I don't
talk
want you
to me.
coming
Why
to
you
talk to
talking
me.
to
Why are
me?
you talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're gonna sleep on the same bed at night though.
Yeah.
You
The
have
other
your
one
own-
said not necessarily.
The other one said not necessary. So explain to me
what is going on? Are you?
What are y'all?
You're
Are y'all
roommates
married?
at this point?
Are y'all married or what's going on here? So
Yeah.
what do we say about that?
I think we should play the second one to get a different perspective.
Okay.
Right? And
Okay.
then we can discuss it.
Okay, sure.
I'm very fortunate. The man that I am married to, Senator Vincent Hughes, 7th Senatorial District of Philadelphia, he has his own life. I have my own life. He has his own real career. I have my own real career. He has his light to stand in. I have my light to stand in. So he is not looking at me thinking about status or this or that. He's doing his thing. I get to do my thing. We also live in separate places. When I go to see him, love to see him. When it's time to leave, bye-bye, see you soon. I'm telling you, life is good.
And
That's a
all
different
she
perspective.
wrote. Life is good.
Shirley Ruff. I love her. She's
No.
amazing.
That's Shirley Lee Ralph from the show Abbott Elementary. If y'all don't know, please go check it out. It's wonderful. But my thing is this though, right? Because where do we draw the line between a marriage and partnership and agreements? Because there is allowance, right? Allowance for modification, if you will, per marriage. Everybody's home is different. Everybody's situation is different.
It's not one size fit all.
It's not one size fit all kind of thing. And particularly in the case of Shirley, right? She lives in California. It's almost understandable because she has to work in California. She's in Hollywood. I would assume, right? And her husband is a politician in Philly. He's not going to just drop all that and move to Philly, right? So somehow they were able to make it work. They were able to make
18 years.
For 18 years, they've been married now. And they were able to make it work. Now, there are certain things she said that I'm not a fan of.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And the reason why it's good to address something like this is because Shirley, for example, she's a respected lady.
Absolutely.
In the industry that she's in and in Black community in general, right? Not only is she a respected person, she's a voice.
She has a voice.
She's a voice, right? And people listen.
Yeah.
When somebody like that says something like that, right? And it's like, I don't need to read or learn about anything. If Shirley lives that kind of life, we can do it too.
Right.
You know? But you have to understand there's a difference between Shirley's situation and those are the girls that we're talking.
Exactly.
Two completely different situations.
I wanted us to break that down first because the first situation with the girls that we're talking, to me, I felt like they sound unserious. They sound like they're just looking to say they're married and then they want to live single life. While on the other hand, the reason why I don't look at Miss Shirley's situation the same is because from her talking and what she's saying, it sounds like it was kind of like an agreement they had to come to.
Yeah.
Number one, she's a celebrity. She has a spotlight on her. So is he in his own right. And you see that a lot of times in that world, things tend to clash. Being a politician's wife is not an easy thing. And if she's standing in as a politician's wife, it could affect their marriage. Or if, that's Miss Cheryl's husband. You know what I'm saying? Like, just being in that world, for them, it's better for them to separate their world, which is probably why they did it. For example, like we said, she works in Cali. He's a senator in Philadelphia. It can't fit unless they have to compromise something. So I feel like they had a reason or their own situation as to why they did it. But number one, you hear the maturity in their reasoning as to why they did that.
Pause. You hear the maturity and the reasoning as to why they do that. Before we go into justification of actions,
okay,
let's pause for a second and ask ourselves. Again, like I said, I don't want to be the one who dictates for people what to do with their life.
You do what you do with your life, because everybody's situation.
But here's the thing: before you use somebody else's life as an template example for your own life, pause for a second and ask yourself this:
yes,
what does the Word of God say? What does the Word say? Mm-hmm. Now, sure, everybody's unique situation is different, mm-hmm. and you have to kind of design your life in a way that works for you. Still in the Word, right? Yeah. Still biblically.
Yeah.
Biblically, mm-hmm. if that makes sense, right? Essentially, what we're talking about when it comes to the Shirley's situation is long distance relationship and long distance marriages.
Exactly.
If we're asking, can long distance relationship work and long distance marriages work?
Right.
Yes, they can.
Absolutely.
Are they biblical? Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Just because you're in one state, one city, one country, away from your significant other does not mean your marriage is void.
Exactly.
For whatever the reason may be.
Yeah.
So we need to be clear on that.
Absolutely.
But there are certain things that she said that is quite interesting. I wouldn't say I agree or disagree. She said he has his own life, she has hers.
Own life.
He has his own job, she has her own job. He's his own person, I'm my own person.
Yeah.
You know, we might as well not be married, to be quite honest. But that's my person, I'm his person. You know? Mm-hmm. And it's almost like sometimes, first of all, I don't even know how that works out if children are in the dynamics, but we're not even going to get into that. But it could be a cop out, if you will, if you want to build your marriage and your life on that template. Cop out in the sense that I don't want any responsibilities. I don't want any expectations. I just want someone to be loyal to and loyal to me. But let's do our own thing and go about our own life.
This is what I wanted to bring up, right? With those that do this or have the mentality or think, it could work for her, for example. And this is why I still differentiate her and the ladies that were talking in the beginning, because
we're going to get to that.
They were sounding like they don't understand that there is responsibilities that come when you're married, whether you're separated, long distance or not. Even if I have to live in Cali and you have to live in Philadelphia, I still have a responsibility of being faithful to my husband.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Let's not go there, right? Because
I'm just saying
being faithful is not was.
The reason why I'm bringing that up, I'm just using that as an example. The reason why I'm bringing that up is because the mentality of we're still married, but I could do my own thing, you could do your own thing, gives leeway for a lot of things.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's one of the things people have to understand. When you make the choice, it's a choice you make, and you have to be committed to that choice. Because when you make that choice, you leave room for a lot of things to happen. So that's why I'm bringing that up, because now it's not a cop out, like you said, for you to just do whatever you want. Because if that's the case, that's not marriage.
Point blank period.
It's not marriage. If it's an avenue for you to live life like you're single, it's not marriage. At the end of the day, does it mean you can be in a long distance marriage and still it be marriage? Absolutely, because there's responsibilities that still come with it. And I feel like that's the understanding you need to have, and that's probably the understanding she has with her husband. Understand that yes, we live separate. You have your life, I have my life, because of the life that we live, the life we built. But we still have a responsibility to each other as husband and wife.
I'm preaching a message that talks about foundations, right? There's a whole series. Oh, by the way, well, for truth be told, for those who are listening, we have an entire series for this month called Foundations. And we're going to be dealing with foundations in the areas of marriage and relationship, building, what to build on. It's going to be powerful. I believe everybody should tune in on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And one of the points that I'm going to be raising on one of the teachings is purpose and partnership, where many a times we seek partnership before we seek purpose, especially men. What that means, in fact, it's not even partnership. We seek pretty. We just chase tails. We just look at the pretty faces.
What looks good with me?
We chase to the ladies, period, right? Before we chase purpose. It's an error. We shouldn't do that, but that's what we do naturally as men, right? And so what they teach you is chase purpose, find your purpose, and then find your partner that aligns with that purpose. What's going on with Miss Shirley and her husband is kind of reverse of that, in that they found their purpose.
Right.
They have found their partner.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily even mean that they are serving the same purpose.
Right.
Because that's the whole point why we say to find your purpose first before you find your partner. So that the partner that you find is in alignment with your purpose. And it doesn't become a situation where it's like, my life is not your life. Yeah. It doesn't fit. Yeah. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, for example, here's just just an example, right? If my purpose, for example, is to be a mortgage broker, a lender, you understand, like a loan officer, for example, like that, and I've been doing that before we met, before we got married, right? It makes sense naturally that I would benefit more from marrying a realtor, from you being a realtor, because then we're keeping the money in the family. We're in the same industry. We're doing the same thing. My client can be your clients. Your client can be my client. Our purposes in that regard aligns very well. You follow what I'm saying? Some people hate that. They're not comfortable being in the same industry as their spouses. They're not comfortable doing the same business as their spouses.
Yeah.
They're not comfortable that my client is your client is my client. They're not comfortable with that, which is wild.
Of being in each other's world, like.
Now, let's also bring it down and say, well, what if I'm a doctor and you're a lawyer? We're two different worlds apart, but can we still work? Yes. The question then becomes, what is our shared purpose? Even in that line and in that light.
Yeah.
Because we're not saying that every person should marry somebody in their industry that serves their business or career purposes and things like that. We're not saying that at all.
It's not realistic.
No, not at all. But what purpose are you both serving in the picture of the Adam and Eve situation? How God created Eve to be a helper to Adam so purpose can be fulfilled. You follow what I'm saying? Now, this is why it's very critical that we listen and we pay attention, if you will. Now, we're getting deeper and deeper as we go. The more I'm talking, the more deeper it gets. With Miss Shirley, right? Her situation and her husband's situation, right, is interesting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because she may not be in the same industry as a husband, but she might still
feel like
be fulfilling
the purpose,
the assignment of an Eve for her Adam. What do I mean by that? God created Eve to help Adam fulfill destiny. Right? Companionship was one of them, but it's not the sole purpose. It was helpmates.
Yeah.
It is therefore now the job of Adam to let Eve know how she can be of help and of service to him in destiny fulfillment. Miss Shirley you could say, if you want to make a case for her, that she is helping her husband fulfill purpose and destiny actually by stepping away and removing herself
because of the nature
of his career.
Correct. Yeah.
So as to not create distraction, wrong media,
noise,
all of that stuff, all that noise that comes with it, she removes herself from the situation. But as risky as it is doable, but you just need a level of maturity.
Exactly.
You need a level of understanding in what it is that you're doing. That's the only way they could have made it work for 18 years
and
strong.
Agreements,
and agreement.
And then even I was thinking about that too. Like, even people that look at that, you have to think about it too. These individuals made the choice. They are probably capable of doing it. The question is, are you capable of doing it?
Yeah.
You can't look at it and say, well, if she's doing it, I could do it. The question is, are you capable of doing it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the same maturity level to be able to do that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this is not to say that, we know anything about their marriage or their marriage is perfect, or, celebrity marriages, God knows how they always work out. They could come back 10 years from now. I pray not for them and say they're not together. I hope that's not the case. But that wouldn't, like, a celebrity wedding. You know what I'm saying? When you're in the spotlight, it's always much harder.
You also got to think about something.
My thing, though, is you got to have the same capability and understanding and agreements, because it's based also on the individuals that are doing these things. You can't look at other people and say, well, I want exactly what they have. You don't know what they're doing behind closed doors.
Now, here's a big factor. Both her and her husband are 68 years old. They've been married 18 to 20 years. So that means they met at the age of, what, 28?
Yeah.
Am I getting that right?
They're both
48.
68?
No, 48.
Yeah, 50. Yeah, about 50. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
They're 68 right now.
They met 18. They've been married together 18
They've been married
years.
18
So
or 20.
50.
I think they said 20.
Oh, it's 20? Yeah. Okay.
So what's that? 48? Okay. That's a level. You 48, you are matured.
You should be matured.
Not only that, you know what you're looking for and you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you have found purpose.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You found purpose before you found partnership.
So the it's different.
So it's different.
Yeah.
Because now the partner is coming and they have to ask themselves, am I willing to complement whatever this person got going on with their lives?
Yeah.
Am I willing and am I able to complement and to accommodate whatever it is that they have going on in their own lives?
Yeah. And for those,
that's the maturity we're talking about.
Those people might say, well, they've been, I think she's been married before, so this is her second marriage. But the thing is, we're not even talking about that aspect of things. We're just even trying to understand her current marriage and how the fact that they've been together for this long. There's probably, one thing I noticed too, the older generation, they have a different understanding of marriage. So the way they do marriage is different. That's why the conversation is different with how she's talking about it and how those girls are talking about it.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's two different generations.
That's where
the understanding is different.
Now, in the same breath as Miss Shirley, right? You have people like some politicians who leave America, go back to Nigeria to run for politics while their spouses are here, taking care of business or whatever. All of that are still working together to fulfill a purpose, to fulfill an assignment, And so I just want to balance that out to say, I'm not saying that a mortgage broker and a real estate agent are perfect for each other while a doctor and a lawyer are not.
Or
a teacher and a politician are not.
It has nothing to do with a career.
Career. It's about how our jobs and our careers together is helping us fulfill destiny as far as God is concerned.
Absolutely.
Going back to the ladies, I am appalled, to say the least, because their situation is a lot different. They're not in a long distance relationship.
No.
They're in the same
house.
But they're asking for their space.
Exactly.
Now, here's the thing. I don't want to sound like I'm insulting anybody's relationship, anybody's marriage. Whatever you believe works for you, please go ahead and do it.
And do it, exactly.
God bless you. God bless y'all.
It's not one size fit all.
You know what I'm saying? It's not one size fit all, but I don't know if it's something to celebrate or emulate.
Yeah.
Now I'm talking about the Miss Shirleys. I'm talking about these girls who say, I don't want to talk to my husband.
Yeah.
I want him in his own space, in my own space. I want to read a book. I want him to smoke his cigar. I want to go out and do my thing. I want him to go out and do his thing. So when do you actually do husband and wife?
I think it's just on seriousness, honestly. I feel like everything is a joke. everything is, it's not serious. It's light work to, unfortunately, most of this generation. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So because of that, they go into it with that mindset as well. Nobody is talking about not having an identity, because a lot of people will argue that was talking about having your own identity. Nobody's not talking about having your own identity. I think it just goes back to when you make a statement like, why are you talking to me right now?
Yeah, because
it just shows an unserious person.
Because last time I checked, I thought marriage was about the two becoming one.
Exactly.
So where's the oneness in that?
Exactly.
Is what I'm trying to figure out right now.
You're in the same house.
Where's the oneness in that?
You're in the same house and you have your own wing. I have my own wing, and we just see each other when we're passing by. Hey, how you doing? Go about your way.
We're roommates.
We're roommates, exactly. It sounded like roommates. They were talking about roommates at that point in time. Yeah.
We're roommates. We're not married. We're roommates.
Absolutely.
We're roommates, because if I got to do my thing, you do your thing. How are we one in that? How are we building together? How are we fulfilling destiny and purpose together? Where
exactly? And then she goes and says, well, I'll sleep in my man's bed every night. But then when you wake up, you leave. It's not like a one night stand. What are we talking about?
And then you want to complain when I go find companionship outside.
Exactly.
You want to complain when I go build with somebody else outside, somebody who actually wants me around.
Exactly.
You complain.
Yeah, I just feel like it's not taking it serious, and it's just a lot of I want my cake and I want the cake and I want to eat it too. How does that statement goes?
You can't have a cake and
eat it too, right? It's like they want to live single life, but they also want to claim to be married, and that mentality is what causes some of this decisions of, you have your own space, I have my own space, don't talk to me, stay in your own lane. Whenever I feel like it, we can hang out. That is just unseriousness to me.
There's another point that I'm gonna raise. It's also at Truth Be Told. I mean, this is a plug for Truth Be Told at this point. But one of the points that I raised in that message is, don't have biblical expectations on a worldly marriage. Point blank period. If you're gonna be of the word,
expect
of the word.
Worldly expectation, or have worldly expectation. Exactly.
That means he cheats on you. You cheat on him.
There's a possibility it might not work.
It may not work, and that's fine. I mean, y'all just be out there and just accept whatever comes with that.
Do that.
You
don't complain and come online talking about men are this or women are this. No, you chose that. So stick with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like a lady who meets a man who works at a club or something, right? Yeah. That's his job. He's an entertainer. He's somebody who's out there. He needs to be out there. He needs to be flirty. He needs to talk to ladies in order to work to get the job done.
Yeah.
That's the nature of his job.
Yeah.
He's around a lot of girls. He's taking pictures with a lot of girls. He's on them. They're on him. You don't marry somebody like that and say, I'm a jealous girlfriend. Or I don't want you to talk to this person. I don't want you talking to that person. I don't want to see you around girls. I don't want to see you around other people. I want you all by myself, all to myself. And I want you to be home all the time, But you don't marry somebody like that and then expect them not to be who they are at the end of the day, right? So it's worldly expectations comes when you have a worldly marriage.
Yeah.
You only should have kingdom expectations when your marriage is a kingdom
when you're
marriage.
Applying biblical practices.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah.
But the level of unseriousness is rampant in American marriages today. And that is why divorces are out there every day, all day. Yeah. It's a huge industry here in America. Yeah. In the western part of the world. Yeah. Because of mentality like this.
Exactly. And I know some people are probably listening like, but wait, both videos said the same thing. They did, but they didn't.
They didn't.
They did, but they didn't.
Huge difference.
Huge difference.
It's different if situation and circumstances causes you guys to be separated
to make that decision,
and live in long distance or whatever the case may be. It's another thing if you are literally saying, I don't want you near me.
Yeah, because think about it.
Stay away from me.
If there's a reason why that has to be. You put in the work and you apply everything you need to apply to make it work.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if it's a thing of, I just don't want you around me. I just don't want you here.
Yeah.
Then you treat it the same way. Because you look at marriage and you look at it as gold, you would treat it like gold.
Yeah.
But if you look at it like trash, you would treat it like trash. Yeah. And that's the difference between the two videos.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, it's crazy, but that's the world we live in. This month is a powerful month. We got a lot to cover this month, and I want y'all to stay tuned. Please let us know if you've been enjoying all our episodes thus far this year. I know it's a little different from how we used to do it last year. And being the fact that we're doing audio only, that alone is a big difference from what we used to do before. But please let us know. We're getting mixed feelings. Some are saying they love it because it allows them to be able to listen as they're working. They can listen at any time and they're not fixated to the screen. They don't have to watch to look at reactions and things like that. Where we have other people saying, wow, can we bring back the video? They miss
the interactions.
Because they want to see our faces. They want to see the interaction. They want to see the reaction to what we're saying. They want to sit down and watch and things like that. So it's mixed feelings, but let us know what your take on the matter is. What do you want us to do more? What do you want us to do better? What do you want us to do different? Topics you would like us to cover at MDB.
Yeah.
The whole point of MDB is for us to dig, discover, and discuss precious gems for the building and the rebuilding of kingdom homes and relationship. What does that mean? We're all about kingdom homes here.
Yeah.
In other words, if we're saying some things that is sounding more like, oh, that's not what's going on now. That's not what people are doing now. Oh, like the word don't do that no more. People don't have those expectations no more. The culture has changed. Women don't talk like men don't do that. We are not following trend.
No.
We
have one standard,
Bible,
and it does not change.
Bible. That's it. It's not about my opinion. It's not about your opinion.
Yeah.
It's not about what you feel or how you. It's about what does the Bible say concerning this matter. So we're digging, we're discovering, we're discussing gems for the building or the rebuilding of kingdom homes and relationships.
Yes.
Kingdom being the key word in all of that, right? Anything else?
And if you haven't, watched any of our episodes, we have lots of videos out on our YouTube page. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you tune in. There's a lot of discussions. We've talked about a lot of topics. We talked about that. Has been a blessing. We've gotten a lot of feedback from people saying this has been a blessing. So if you haven't, just go binge watch them. There's a lot of them out there. And YouTube page.
And honestly, we wanted to come here today and just have a conversation, right?
Yeah.
We just wanted to talk, have a conversation with y'all. No pointers, nothing like that. No debate. And we're not smashing bottles on nobody's head today. Just to have a conversation. You know where we stand on this matter of separatism in marriage. I just don't. We're not for it.
We're not for it.
I'm yet to find a biblical base for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Separatism. And here it is. Just because we are in the same place at the same time, seated on the same couch,
does not mean we're not together. Separate. Exactly.
Okay? And just because we're far apart,
exactly,
on two separate parts of the world, does not mean we're not together.
Thank you.
I just want to pause and say that very quickly. There's a difference.
There's a difference. It's not about physical location.
It's not about that alone. It's not about that alone. So you know where we stand on the matter. Why don't you tell us where you stand on the matter by commenting down below? I'm for it or I'm against it. Or I'm indifferent, but I understand. Yeah. Whatever you choose, I get it. It's your life. Do what you got to do.
Ain't nobody gonna,
you know what I'm saying? Gonna hurt you. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. Whatever you find yourself in is what you laid. You lay on your bed the way you laid it. Well, I hope we've shared a tip or two to help solidify your kingdom union, not only with yourself, but also with others, and most importantly with God on today.
Please don't forget to like, to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, share with your friends and family, and comment down below.
And until next time, be the light,
be the salt,
and remember, all things are possible if you believe. Au revoir.